Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Cardellichio, your host of Destination Health podcast. We have a very special guest today. I asked Mr. Alliano to come on this week. He is an incredible human being. He's a friend of mine. We belong to the Howell Chamber of Commerce together. He's my partner in crime. We became fast friends. John, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Oh, I'm feeling great there, Dan, and thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this.
You're welcome. You know what? I want to thank everybody, all of our listeners today, because our podcast has grown significantly and a lot of individuals are watching the podcast. So I want to thank you. There's so many podcasts that you can listen to that's out there. However, everybody's coming to Destination Health. And I wanted to bring John on because he's a very interesting person, very community oriented, as I am. And I want to share with you his life, and I want to share with you what brought him from a police officer to the president of the Optimist Club of Howell, which is a very interesting story. So, John, you were a park ranger for the county, right? From 1972 to 74. And then you decided to go to the Manalapan Township Police Department. I think it's important to say thank you for your service because you were on there for 27 years. That was a long career, no doubt. You retired as a captain. As I said, served 27 years, okay? You were in the department training instructor, you were an evidence officer, communication supervisor, records supervisor, systems administration, senior range officer, investigation, planning, logistics, purchasing, budget, Office of Emergency Management, department coordinator. That's just a few of them, all right? So you had a long and stellar career being in law enforcement. So let me start off by asking, why law enforcement? What was the calling to become a police officer?
That's an interesting topic there. I really hadn't thought about it earlier on until I turned around 17. I ran into a lot of police officers. I used to work for Grand Union as a stock clerk, a grocery clerk, and I used to do the run to the bank at night, and they escort you, that you go in the back of the patrol car. And I met a lot of the Freehold Township police officers, one of which was Ralph Hoffman, who was a detective. And actually one of the reasons why I became a police officer, because him and I, grew friendly, and then I got the job with the park system as a ranger, which is, sort of enforcement and, helping people and such like that. And it just embellished my desire to get in law enforcement. And then, I became a police officer after I left the county rangers.
I love that. I love that story. So tell me, why Manalapan? Were you living in Manalapan at that time? Is that what you?
Yeah, my parents and I, my family moved to Manalapan, I believe in 1964. I've been in this area since 1964.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in that town. I actually had the opportunity when I left the park rangers to go with Freehold Township.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I was having my background down with Manalapan, and I just felt that Manalapan being a non-civil service department, and I didn't have any military background, and it being 1974, I had a better chance to become a police officer in a non-civil service department as opposed to Freehold Township. Although I love both departments, and I worked closely with Freehold Township on a couple of cases when I was at the park system. So I ended up with Manalapan, and it was a great career. And they prepared me for my life after law enforcement. They really did.
I love that. So your life after law enforcement, and we're going to go into that now. So you're the president of the Optimist Club of Howell. You've been a member for 20 plus years. You're part of the Howell Chamber of Commerce, Freehold Elks for 40 years, Howell Community Alliance, Boy Scouts of America Scout Leader. You have lived a life of community service. Isn't that correct?
I guess. It doesn't seem. I just like doing stuff and being involved. I am retired now. And it's a great way to utilize your time, and it keeps me occupied. And I just enjoy it. With the Scouts has been a relatively new endeavor. The club was actually approached to hold and asked if we could hold the charter, and that I'm the president. I'm
Mhm.
the charter, I'm the charter representative. So in that capacity, I'm not a scoutmaster or anything like that. I'm
Right.
the charter representative, but
Right.
I do participate in a lot of their events and such like that, representing the club.
I think this is great, and I think one of the aspects of your life where we became friends is that community service. I'm very community service orientated, as you very well know. I'm involved in so many things, and most of the things that I'm involved with, people don't even know, but because you do it out of the goodness of your own heart, and that's extremely important. And you actually joined the Optimist Club before you retired, and tell us about that situation.
Okay, that's a good story too.
Yeah.
Well, my two daughters were receiving accolades and awards from the Optimist Club. I had never heard of the Optimist Club. I'm saying I got to find out what this deal is and who these people are and everything. It sounds pretty interesting.
Right.
And I got drawn right into it. I
Right.
went to a couple of meetings. I joined the club. About a week later, Harvey Morrell, who was the mayor here in Howell and also
Right.
the first police chief, and he
Mhm.
also was a mentor of mine and one of my instructors back in '74 at the police academy.
He
And
was a mentor of mine, in addition to, just to let you
there
know.
you go.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call, and he says, "Hey, John, I need a body to fill the board of directors. Would you do it for me?" I said, "Well, I just joined. I don't know anything about it." And he says, "No, don't worry about it. It'll be nothing. You just go and I'll let you know what it's all about." I said, "Okay." He says, "We'll swear you in next week."
Harvey had that. Harvey had that way about him, right?
Yeah, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. So,
Yeah.
so he goes and I go to the meeting and they're going to swear me in as on a member of the board of directors. And John Alliano, vice president. I said, whoa. What happened to the board of directors? It's just a title. Don't worry about it. Actually, I'm president.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's Harvey. That's Harvey. You went from board of directors to the Grand Poobah.
I never even spent any time as a board of directors.
Right, right. Well, when you walked in from walking into the door to your seat, that was your time as the board of directors.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
think
were
I had
moved
less
into.
I guess I had less than a year on the job for that, but it was not a problem.
Mhm.
The club basically is a well-oiled machine. I think we were up to back in the heyday about 65 plus members.
Mhm.
At present, we're 30 very active members, 30 to 31. We kind of like vacillate right there. I'd like to grow back up to about 45 would be very comfortable, or more, obviously,
Mhm.
always
Sure.
take more. But we do a ton of different things for the town here and for the
Right.
kids in the town.
And I think that's important because let's get into what the Optimist Club is now, right? So I'm looking at my notes here. Optimists bring out the best in kids. I think that's extremely important today. Kids need mentors, mothers, fathers, they have grandparents. They need people in the community to be mentors. And here's a quote from the Optimist Club of Howell. It gives me chills. Although we come from all walks of life, we know that we can make a difference in the lives of others. Tell me, what does that mean? What's the purpose of the Optimist Club?
Well, the purposes of the club is that we want to develop optimism as a philosophy of life and utilizing all the tenets, all the portions of the Optimist Creed. And we want to promote interest in good government. We want to also explain and teach about civic affairs. I mean, I think civics is something that's sorely missed in our
Totally.
educational system anymore. I mean, we work very closely with the Board of Ed here. We have members that are part of the Board of Ed,
Right.
and that allows us to integrate our programs with the community. One of the projects, or one of the main thrusts of our club, is to integrate our club with various aspects of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Municipal government, Board of Education, Chamber of Commerce, business community that, at large.
Right.
Because when we want to do something, we can now just go in and say, hey, we have this project, what do you think? As opposed to just explaining who we are, what we do, where we came from, blah, blah, blah. We've been around since 1990 here in town.
It's a long time.
Yep. We also want to inspire or, promote respect for law enforcement and for the law in general.
Very important. Very important. Yes.
Patriotism, international accord, friendship among everybody. We have to learn to understand that we're a brotherhood and a sisterhood with everybody, all walks of life. And we want to, develop youth and encourage youth in the belief that giving of oneself in the service of others will advance the well-being of humankind and community life in the world. And that's really what it's all about.
You know what? I love that. And in hearing you talk about this, I hear, where I grew up in northern New Jersey, where we were, very community orientated. It was being part of something bigger than yourself, right? It was being something part of bigger than yourself. So, the world is bigger than you, and what can you contribute to your town? Because everything is local, and what can you contribute to your town? What are your ideas? What are your passions? What is it that you can do to help out your town? And you had that list of, that you were discussing that you are involved in with the business community and so forth. And that's great. And you know what? I've just opened up an office here in Howell with my partner, Dr. Betsy Greenleaf. And, I'm an Optimist member also. So if there's anything that we can do, in the business community, to show, the youth, what it is to run a business, what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to go through what you have to go through, as an entrepreneur. I think that's important. Those mentors are very important. And I had a lot of those mentors growing up. That's in part why I do what I do. And
we appreciate everything that you've done for the club and for the town here. I mean, you're supporting the golf outing, which we'll discuss a little bit later.
We'll discuss that, yeah.
And the interesting thing too is that the club has been around since 1990. We're a 501c4. We have an international affiliation. We're affiliated with Optimist Foundation and Optimist International. The Optimist Foundation is a 501c3, which allows us to raise funds, and if people need that tax write-off, we have that avenue where we can have them, send the funds to them, and they get the tax benefits there. So we try and do as much as we can, and we're not just saddled by restraints by a large organization. In that each club is autonomous, we are allowed a great amount of latitude to do programs and to assist various community efforts and family situations, as we see fit, so long as they're within the general guidelines, which are very broad, so we're looking to expand our capabilities. That program with the care packages was new this year, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that. We do 8 higher education scholarships.
Tell us about those scholarships. How did that come about, and who are they given to? How can kids apply for this?
Well, right now they are for Howell Township residents, seniors that are graduating from Howell Township. They can go to any of the schools. They could always contact us when they're ready to to graduate before graduation, probably the beginning of the year before graduation, so that they make all the timelines. The Freehold Regional High School District that puts it on their site for district students. It doesn't matter which one of the district high schools they go to, they all have that capability to register. There's 8 scholarships right now. They are varied as far as healthcare, community service is part of all the application processes. We want kids that are
absolutely
involved in community service to some degree. We have healthcare, law enforcement, public service, there's general studies, the arts, and also vocational students. We want to promote vocational education besides just college, because we feel the trades are in dire need of kids to go into those fields. So that's where we're headed with the scholarships. We're actually going to do a ninth one starting next year. It's a lot of them are memorial scholarships that are named after persons who were instrumental in the operation of the Optimist Club and service to the township of Howell. And this new one is going to be a Bob Walsh, Robert Francis Walsh Memorial Scholarship, and we're going to be kicking that off at the golf outing. Actually, is going to be the start of the funding for that, and then obviously we'll continue the funding moving forward. And that will the exact determination on what the topic will be for that scholarship will be determined.
So what happens in order to get the scholarship? You have to fill out the application. Then what happens from there?
And then we have a impartial review board that reviews the scholarships applications, and then they're awarded. And then we have a meeting right after school ends in June. We have a breakfast meeting, and then we do an awards presentation, and they're awarded the scholarships there. We also go to the various high schools, and if they have an awards night, we make the presentations at the high school also, so that they get recognized with their peers. But we also do another formal presentation at that breakfast, and then the checks are sent out.
Oh, I think this is great. Eight scholarships. That's a lot of scholarships to give out. Giving out the ninth one, Robert Francis Walsh, Bobby, and I think that's a great way to honor him, because he was part of the town and community for forever, and so forth. So
coincidentally, he and I grew up together. He's a Manalapan Yorktown boy.
Yeah, he's Manalapan, and he came here to Howell. You know, he wanted to come to the well, I won't say that because I have friends in Manalapan. So so tell me, holidays are coming up, and you have a no-cost breakfast with Santa. Hopefully we'll be able to do this, because of the COVID situation. So tell me, what is this no-cost breakfast with Santa?
Well, for years we've partnered with the Board of Education, and we have put out the invitations through them so that they remain anonymous. And they're kids who are, families may be struggling, kids with special needs, just kids in general. It doesn't really matter. We open the doors to everyone. We do have a limit because of the capacity, but we normally handle about 100 or so kids. Wow. and their parents, significant others, guardians, whomever, and it's totally free to all those participants. Right. They get a gift. We go out shopping, and that's kind of a look forward to situation where the members like to go out there and do the shopping together, and then we wrap the gifts. Pack Raptors family, every year they spend a whole evening or two and wrap all the gifts for us and bring them in, and then we go and have the celebration. We have Santa there. That's and they take the pictures, and then
that's great.
How High School Rebel Yell comes out, and Rebelettes and whoever, and they
that's great.
Some songs. So it's really a great day.
Yeah, you know what? I love the no-cost breakfast with Santa. It's a great day, and it's for a great cause. And everybody in the community. I would like to see everybody in the community really get involved with that. Now, you also have, what's that?
The venue is the Our House Restaurant, which is right in town. And Robbie there, the owner, is extremely helpful in putting that together. And he's also a member of the club.
Right. He's very generous in that way. There's no doubt. Now, you have a bunch of contests. You have oratorical contests. You have essays. You have photos. I know I want to be a judge for the oratorical, but I can't because I'm a member. Public speaking is something that I learned at a very early age, and I think it's very important for communication skills, for your career, for your relationships that you have with your significant other, your friends, and meeting people. Tell us about these contests.
Well, it's really cool because we're the envy of our district here for the Optimist clubs, because we had, I believe it was 72 essay entrants, and I think we had somewhere in the area of 28 or so oratorical entrants, and that's a large amount. A lot of clubs struggle to try and get those kids to participate, students to participate, and the reason why we're so able to do that is our relationship with the Board of Education. We,
Right.
Superintendent, assistant superintendent, are members of the club. They know what we're doing, and it's actually built right into the curriculum. And they do it during the time where essay writing or public speaking becomes part of their normal curriculum. Just incorporate the topics into there. There's usually a topic that's picked by Optimist International, and you just have to write or speak about that particular topic. And it is an international competition, and there's up to $25,000 worth of scholarships that are available to the winners.
Right.
When you add up all the different levels.
Wow. That's amazing.
Our local winner actually, I believe, came in second place or third place in the districts this year.
Nice.
And it's really good, and it's mostly middle school students.
Really?
We just had our first high school student participate, and she actually is the one that I believe came in second, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's great, for the oratorical contest, that middle school, 6th grade and younger, they're the ones that are interested in doing that. I think that's great. I love that. And I'm going to tell you that I'm going to resign from the Optimist Club so that I can be a judge, and then I'll join again. So
you won't be able to do that. I can allow it. No good.
All right.
Rejected.
All right. Yeah, right. You won't put it. John says no, I can't do that. So you're involved in the Boy Scouts, the Eagle Scouts. What is your relationship? You hold a couple of charters for Howell Scout troops. So what is that relationship?
Well, it's actually fantastic. I mean, when we originally were approached, that basically they needed somebody. In years past, a company could hold a charter. Rules have changed, and the older charter holders that were grandfathered in are now going out of business. They're retiring, et cetera. Well, the gentleman and his company folded, and the gentleman retired. They were looking for a charter holder. And now they have to have a nonprofit, or I guess charitable organization, hold the charters. And we were approached. I mean, we're a friend of youth. And next thing we know, they asked us about it. I spoke to the board of directors. Actually, Optimist International has a letter on file and a position on file that we should partner with Boy Scouts of America. And we have a lot of common goals, and most of our goals are the same. And so we didn't have to worry about getting a blessing from International, and we've been holding the charter now for a couple of years. There's some training that I have to do, online in order to maintain my position there as the rep, and we're a charter holder for the Boy Scout troop and for the Cub Scout troop 58.
You know what? Growing up, my father was a scout leader. Of course, I was a Boy Scout, Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Weeblo, Eagle Scout, right? Those were the days, and they were fun. We used to go camping and so forth, right? And it's another encouragement to get involved in the community, whether it's the Optimist Club or helping out with the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts. It goes back to what you were saying earlier, John. Civics is not taught a lot in school these days. And this is part of being part of that community, that civics. And they were just such great times, growing up, being part of the Scouts. So I think that's another great thing. You also have a clothing drive, all right, around the holidays, right? And we were able to get some, we were able to raise a lot last year. And we want to make sure we do it again this year. I mean, COVID is putting a damper on a lot of stuff, but we need to pivot and we need to overcome this so that we can continue on, with the clothing drive. So tell me about the clothing drive.
Absolutely. The clothing drive we usually do in April, just during spring cleaning and just before around the Easter time and those holidays. Unfortunately, that was right at the peak area, April, May, and such, with the COVID. So we, kind of like put that on hold. We're able to do that because of our relationship with the Chamber of Commerce and the business community. Investors Bank allows us to put the storage container, the pod type of thing on their property there behind the office, and we get the permit and everything from the township. And My Box is the company that basically allows us to use their box for the month. They donate the use of the box for a month, which is great. And we usually generate $500 to $700 a year just on that, and that helps with our scholarships program.
Absolutely, 100%. Here's something that I think is phenomenal, that the Optimists support dealing with childhood cancer. Let's talk about this.
Okay, well, that's one of the main goals of the Optimist International and Optimist clubs. And if I can just refer to this here, Childhood Cancer Campaign is the world's premier childhood cancer eradication program. And it really is a phenomenal part and an integral part of our organization, our general organization. The Optimist clubs in New Jersey developed a camp called Camp Quality up in North Jersey. And it's a week-long camp. It's a sleepover camp. We have medical staff, activities. I mean, it's a getaway for the kids and those that are suffering with the effects of cancer and the rehabilitation and such. And it's been going on for a number of years. And it's all done staffed by Optimist volunteers, and doctors, from what I understand, volunteer, and different organizations volunteer their services. They have balloons, the big hot air balloons. I've known they've had that on occasions. They have music concerts, activities, and such like that. So that's one of the things that we do as far as childhood cancer. We also will help support families that are dealing with childhood cancer, and financially, if possible. I mean, we can't do everything. We can't, fully
We do what we can as much as we can. Right. We do what we can with as much as we
try
can.
and do. We try and help out as much as we can. Do it as many families as we can. We also donate to the Howell Food Pantry. And we also donate to the Monmouth County food pantry there, to fill. And I think this year we did just over 1,000 pounds of food.
Wow, that's great. Especially with with the onset of COVID, individuals not being able to go out and food shop and so forth. And there were those in Howell that actually did that. And, donating to the food pantry was, lifesaver for people, and, another great, thing that the Optimist Club does. And, and for all of our listeners, and I know that we have a lot of listeners here in Monmouth County, consider joining the Optimist Club of Howell. Come to the breakfast. I mean, right now we're not meeting, because of COVID. But once we start and so forth, come to a meeting, right, John? Just come to the meeting and see what it's all about, And you know what? I think I can. I don't make many promises, but I think I can promise that you're going to love it, right? And that you're going to want to get involved in the community, and you're going to want to help out because it's infectious. Listen to all of the things that the Optimist Club has done. And John's a busy guy. We're, very, very busy doing all of this stuff.
I think I'm busier now than I was when I was working.
When you were working. That's why John pulls me. He's like, John, Dan, come. I need this. I need help with that. So it's all good. So, consider joining the Optimist Club, because, I'm looking down here at my notes, in quotations, it brings out the best in our youth. And I think that bringing out the best in our youth today is so vital and so important. I love that. I love that quotation that's going on. What are some of the other things that the Optimist Club does?
You know, we've tried. Well, we do essay contests also. You know,
Right.
and that's fantastic. I mean, we have 72 applications for that. You know, we have the Breakfast with Santa. We also give out, besides the monetary scholarships, we do 2 computer scholarships. And what they are, when we had a larger group of members and we could raise more money, we actually used to give a computer system, a complete computer system, to graduate to a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader in all
Wow.
3 of the middle schools. Because of funding, now just give a laptop and printer, which there's no need for desktops anymore, really.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter because there's no need for the desktops. Everybody's on their laptop today. Actually,
Exactly.
everybody's on their cell phone today doing stuff,
You
right?
got it. So we award a laptop and a printer to a 8th grader in the 2 middle schools. So, and we do that every year, and that's called our Youth Plus Technology Equals Excellence Squared. And you know, that's what we kind of tagged it. And it's really cool to be able to go up there and to recognize these students for their academic achievements, for their personal achievements, their community service achievements, whatever it might be. You know, that's what we look for with those 2 particular awards. And we also give participation awards. We do you know, when the town was doing Trunk or Treat, we participate in that.
Right.
And the last 2 years we participated, and both those years we won first place for our displays.
Right.
So the prizes that we won, we utilized that for our golf outing. You know, I make sure that goes right to the golf outing. And last year we had a full barbecue package with a fire pit, with all the accoutrements there, and the seats and the chairs. And then Longhorns donated a full barbecue package with the steak knives and the utensils and the various seasonings and the what do you call it there, the apron and such, you know.
Right.
And it was a beautiful package. And we do that over at the Eagle Oaks you know, golf and country club over there. And they take care of us. We've been doing there for 25 years now, and we have a great partnership with them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at everything here. 8 scholarships, soon to be 9. Healthcare, community service, public service, arts, vocations, civic, oratorical contests, essays, photo contest, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Eagle Scouts, childhood cancer, donations to Howell Pantry, food pantry, and the Monmouth County Pantry, Fulfill. I mean, this is an organization that I am proud to be part of, and I'm going to make it a goal. One of my goals for 2021, you know, and I think we need to start now, is to grow the Optimist Club, and that's in part why I said, listen, let's, you know, John, let's do this podcast. Let's motivate, let's educate and inspire, because I have on my podcast, it's a destination health podcast, and we say we're finding function in a dysfunctional world, and I have on a lot of physicians, medical doctors, osteopaths. I have on a lot of PhDs, nutritional biochemistry, and I like to get local people on because I think it's important, because this is, I think, vital to, you know, our community. It can be vital to a lot of other communities to have an Optimist Club. Now,
well, let me just
go ahead.
You know, when you talk about all the healthcare providers and experts and professionals that are involved with your groups and with your contacts, you know, having a healthy community is paramount in all health concerns. And by volunteering, you become energized, you stay active, and you feel good. And I've always heard that if you have a positive attitude when you're ill or when you're recovering from a surgery or from a sickness, positive attitude and positive outlook helps in healing. If it helps in healing, it's got to be a great preventative medicine.
It is great, and it gives you a good feeling. You want to do it out of the goodness of your heart. And you know, people say to me, you know, I get up early in the morning, and you know, I go until, you know, 10, 11 o'clock, and I'm taking my son here. I'm involved in this. I'm involved in that. And it is very energizing to help out your community. It is very energizing to do things, to have that thought that there is something, you're part of something that is bigger than than yourself. So, we do have time to help out our community. It's just that we displace it with watching TV, but I won't go down that line. Don't watch TV. So we're almost up on an hour. We're at like 43 minutes right now. And we're going to have you back on again, John, just before the holidays for the no cost breakfast with Santa. And we're going to discuss that more. So silver anniversary coming up. All right. Silver anniversary. Well, before I say this, Optimist Class was the service organization of the year, right? From the Howell Chamber.
Yeah, last year in 2019, we were service organization of the year.
We were the service organization of
and that's
of
actually
the year.
That's actually the second time we've been named that. About maybe 18 years ago, we were a service organization. Plus, we've had members, if I'm not mistaken, we've had members that have been, citizen of the year.
Yes, multiple members have been
so,
citizen of the year.
We are, a vital part of the township.
Right.
We also partner with the police department there, Howell PD, and also with the Howell PAL, we do a lot of programs. And
wow, yeah, you know what? I
try to support them, and they support us, which is huge.
Right, Sergeant Hill is the best, right?
Oh yes.
He is a great guy, and I think that's important. Partnering up with HPD and the Howell PAL, it's just really good. So, silver anniversary golf outing. Let's talk about the golf outing because not that I'm a big golfer. You have to give up something. So, when you're busy and you're into your businesses and your community, your work, your family, something has to give. So golf does, go by the wayside every now and again. Sometimes
well, you don't have to play golf to be involved in the golf outing.
You know what? Let's go with the golf outing. So you don't have to play golf. Tell us about the golf outing. October 19th.
Yep. Yes, it's October 19th. It's at Eagle Oaks Golf and Country Club.
And if you haven't been to Eagle Oaks, it's a great venue, right? It's a great venue.
Let me tell you something. This is a top shelf outing.
Right.
Okay. First of all, they really put on a great outing. This year, because of the time that we're doing in the year, usually we do it in April, but because of everything, we're doing it October 19th. We're going to have a full buffet breakfast. After you go there at 9 o'clock in the morning, you drop your bag, you have a nice buffet breakfast, hit the links there, I believe it's called, right?
Right.
We play golf during the day. There's refreshments that are going around. There's refreshment stands.
You're going to have hors d'oeuvres, open bar, cocktail party, right?
Right. Come back. We have an open bar with cocktail party, hors d'oeuvres, and then it's a full buffet dinner, which is all top shelf. During the cocktail hour, it's all top shelf liquors and beers and such. It's a wonderful day. An evening, and then we have door prizes and all those kind of good things that will occur, at the outing itself. We'll have the awards for all the golfers, and also recognition for our event sponsor this year is My Instadoc.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second year in a row that they've been the event sponsor, and we have a ton of other sponsors, and you can support this outing and be involved in this outing for as little as $50 by taking a small ad in the ad book, and then it goes up from there. And then if you want, you can post it on your site there, the flyer with all the information, and that would be.
I'm going to in our podcast notes, I'm going to post where they can go to join the Optimist Club and where they can go, and we'll discuss that before we come off, and we're going to post where they can join so that they can go right to the link and they can rock it and so forth. I'm trying to get my foursome. I've been texting them. I guess everybody's busy. I'm going to have to call them again. You may have to throw me into a, if there's three, I may have to go into a fourth tell them that I'm not a ringer or anything like that. So, you know, I'm not gonna have a miracle Johnny Miller, what was it, 62 or 63 back in the day in the 70s, in the 1970s.
We have a Facebook page also, and it's posted on the Facebook page. We're also on How Happenings. I posted it on that, and then various other social media possibilities there. People are sharing it. So this would be great that you share it.
So the best thing to do would be go to the Facebook page. Is that the best?
Yep. You could just message me, drop a message on the Facebook page, and
right.
I will definitely get a hold of you. You could always call me. My cell is on my business card there, 732-678-6607. If I don't answer,
732, what is it? 7? I have it on my cell, but I want you to say it again. 732
678 6607. Okay. And if I don't pick up, which I probably won't unless I recognize the number, leave me a voicemail and I will call you right back. Not a problem.
Yeah, this is a great time. $300 per person, $1,200 for the foursome, and you're getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're getting an all-day affair. I'm going to be there. So it's one of my days where I smoke one cigar. So I'll bring a couple of cigars, and we have a great time. Listen, sponsoring as little as $50, $150, $125. I mean, it's really a great day and a great time. And we have our hole-in-one contest, right, this year?
Oh yeah, the hole-in-one contest. They have a card that's donated. I believe it's a lease for a year. Is the prize, and that's actually going to be on the one hole, and that's going to be the Bob Walsh hole, and we're going to name it after him, and we're going to hopefully raise some funds on that hole towards his new scholarship. So
right.
And we've been in touch with his family and such like that, and everybody's excited about doing this year.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure Bobby's looking down, smiling, and Michelle is very happy about that.
Yep.
And
so moving forward on
so
that.
what is that? What is the par for that one? What is the hole length?
I think that's a par 3.
It's a par 3. It's always the par 3. All right. So
They don't want to give that away right away.
I think I'm going.
We have had winner. We have had a winner there.
I think I'm going to Eagle Oaks, I think, today. Well, not today, not tomorrow, maybe Saturday. If I get up at 4:00 in the morning, I'm going to go and I'm just going to play 18 holes of that one hole. All right. And I'm just going to stand there.
Oh boy.
And I'm just going to whack that ball, making sure that
you also have a closest to the pin. You have a putting contest. So we have all these different contests that are available to the golfers. So we want to make it an interesting day. We may even throw in some new ones also this year.
Yeah, the longest drive is always, that's always one at one particular hole. Listen, everybody who's listening, you don't have to play golf to participate. Okay, you can come for the dinner. Okay, right? You can come for the dinner. You can get involved with the Optimist Club. You can come see John that night. You can come see myself that night, and we'll discuss more with you with the Optimist Club. So it's October 19th. It's a Monday. All right. So if you have to work that day and you can't make it, 4:00, yeah, take off. Call in sick. If not, just come for the dinner and meet and greet, everybody in our community that's helping out with these children, which is so important today. It's a passion of mine, no matter where I have been in my life. I think it's very important to be involved. Civics, community service, Optimist Club is a great way to get involved. October 19th, $300, foursome 12. I mean, hole in one, closest to the pin, longest. I mean, this is a great time. Want everybody to come. Invite everybody. Invite your family. Invite your friends. Again, don't have to play golf. Come for the dinner and have a nice time.
Take an ad.
Take an ad. And we're going to post all of that stuff. So, John, we're coming up on our hour. And like I said, I've had a lot of individuals on my podcast that are colleagues and friends of mine in the health, medical, fitness community. And I've had a lot, and they've been very gracious with their time. And I want to thank you for coming on and being very, very gracious, with your time. This is so important. I'm proud to be an optimist. I'm proud to be a friend of yours. You and I have, getting closer, in our friendship, and I look forward to 2021 to set some new goals for the Optimist Club so that we can make it even bigger and better than it is today, and keep moving forward,
I appreciate that, Dan. And I was just wondering if it would be too much to ask if I could just close my portion of it with the Optimist Creed.
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. Forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you, John. There's nothing else to say. I love that. I want to thank everybody for listening today. John, thank you for coming on. October 19th, please come on out. Optimist Club of Howell, the best. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.